Okay guys, it's time to start our first class novel of second semester, and your class is going to be reading the book Wonder by R.J. Palacio. I'm sure a lot of you have read Wonder or heard about people reading Wonder, and I want you guys to remember that our literary essay is going to be about Wonder. And so even if you've read it before or you've heard about it before, we're really going to look at this book through a different set of eyes as we begin thinking about this book on a really much deeper level, because we're going to be talking about it in our literary essays. Today we're going to talk a little bit about some of the main components to Wonder, the power that's behind this book Wonder, and then also the main character Augie Pullman himself. So if you don't have your book out yet, please make sure you have that, and let's get started. So this book is really just full of power. If you actually asked me what I thought the most powerful book for middle schoolers was, I would say this book, Wonder by R.J. Palacio. The reason why I believe in this book so much is because it can relate to every single type of human that is out there. A human who doesn't feel like they fit in, a human who is self-conscious or has friendship struggles or is kind of looking for their purpose in life. Augie is the main character that we are going to see, and you're going to watch a little bit of a video after this that kind of introduces Augie, and his message that he brings throughout this story is really powerful. There's a lot of power in the friendships and the friendship dynamics that are a part of this story, so I want you to pay attention to that, but also I want you to pay attention to the variety of themes that are a part of Wonder. We're going to be really focusing in and looking specifically at themes just in general next week, but then really diving into the theme of wonder coming up soon. And so as you read, my challenge to you is to really pay attention to the parts of the book that feel powerful to you. If you're somebody who kind of needs to process things verbally or through the written word, I would really recommend having your journal out while you're reading this. You can jot down quotes that are powerful to you. Parts of the book you can say, page 17 was a really powerful moment for me. I would really encourage that as we begin to read this novel together. So a couple of things for you to think about as you read this book. You are going to have until February 25th to read this book. We will have carved out time during our lessons to read this book. You're actually going to have that today. The 25th due date for this book is so good for us. I know it says food here. Whoops, that's supposed to be a G. It's so good for us to really practice being proactive and planning ahead. If we know that the 25th is our end in mind for this book to be done, then you need to assess as you're going through the process of reading this book, what works for you. If you are noticing that you may need more time outside of what we plan for in class to read this book because you don't think you're going to finish it in time, then you're going to need to plan accordingly, and I'm here to help you with that. What planning accordingly may mean for you is that you might have to be reading after school and on the weekends and for sure over break week. So between now and February 25th, I want you to really pay attention to what works for you, what you need to do in order to meet that deadline of February 25th, having your class novel Wonder read. So below this presentation in your course, there's a video here that introduces Augie to you. I want you to notice what feels interesting to you as you watch this video. What are some things that Augie says here as you watch this video? And what do you notice about Augie and what you see in this video, and in particular what you do not see in this video? This book is actually becoming a movie. It comes out on April 7th of this spring. And so I just want you to kind of get your mind wrapped around what Augie is trying to tell you through the introduction to himself in the video that's listed below here. But we've got one more slide before you can watch that. So today, after you watch the introduction video of Augie that's underneath this presentation, we're going to read. You are going to read for the rest of your time in ELA today. When you're done reading, you're going to do your first discussion board post about this particular book. I want to hear and I want you to share with your peers your initial reactions to the story so far. What do you think so far? What stands out to you? What's confusing to you? What do you like? What do you maybe not like? What are some predictions you may have of what's going to come up in the book? So go ahead and get started. Watch the introduction to Augie below and then read, read, read. I can't wait to hear what you think.